So with Pikmin 4 right on the horizon, a lot of people want to know, should I get into this series? Is it too late to get into this series? Now that I can get into the series, is it worth it? I'm Nima. We're going to talk about Pikmin 1, 2, and 3. Adam Miller and I collabed on this video and decided to review all 3 of the games. Now Adam decided to do the 1 and 2 remake or report, re-release, whatever you want to call it, and I reviewed Pikmin 3. So without further ado, let's get to the video. And by the way, just so you guys know, there will be little to no spoilers at all in this video. We just wanted to go through all of them like we would in a typical review. So in Pikmin 1, we follow the story of Captain Olimar, an astronaut from the planet Hecate. He is crash landed on an unknown planet after a meteor smacks his ship. His life support system is damaged, leaving him with only 30 days to find the missing pieces of his ship and escape. An impossible task is made feasible once he stumbles across an indigenous life form that he dubs Pikmin, due to their resemblance to Pick carrots back home. Their combined strength and their allegiance to the unfortunate new captain means that making it back home is now a real possibility. Now the plot of Pikmin has always remained pretty straightforward, and the original is as simple as it gets. It has a couple of cutscenes to bookend the main plotline, but other than that, story advancement happens in diary entries that happen at the end of each day. Now what struck Adam as the most interesting about this is just how well Pikmin 1 is held up, especially when you compare him to the newer entries. Now sure, the visuals look a little dated, and especially with the rather blurry grass textures, but they're also nowhere near as bad as he anticipated. Now it does seem that your task is quite Herculean when you realize you have to find 30 missing ship parts in 30 days, but this task is actually pretty achievable, as you can easily find about 1 piece per day, with that being at the very minimum. Now this game has aged incredibly well, and it's one of those things that Adam feels like Nintendo made the right move by just essentially porting this over. There isn't a huge difference between the original version and the Nintendo Switch version, but there didn't need to be. That's how well this game was designed. This game lasts about 7 hours, and as far as graphics and sound, Adam would give this a 4 out of 5. Now, gameplay wise, Adam has dubbed that this is a 4.5 out of 5, and value is a 3.5 out of 5. So, as Adam started Pikmin 2, there was some concern about the fact that the fanbase is rather torn on this one. This is apparently a very divisive game, and seems to be aimed more towards the hardcore gamers. So just like Pikmin 1, this game also follows Captain Olimar as he does return back to his home planet safe and sound. But unfortunately, the company he worked for is in massive debt. But luckily for the company and his boss, Captain Olimar has ended up bringing back a trinket with him from this foreign planet. Now Captain Olimar's boss feels like this is a great opportunity to get the company out of debt. They can easily sell these little trinkets and people would buy them up. Armed with a new co-worker, Captain Olimar is back off to the planet of Pikmin. Now speaking of that new co-worker, Louis is his name, and he offers a new strategy in this game as he becomes a playable character himself. Now you can arm him with some Pikmin, and this way you can reach new areas by simply throwing your new co-worker further along and then throwing a bunch of Pikmin with him. Now that's not the only big difference in Pikmin 2 from Pikmin 1. There's also the fact that there is no countdown. You have more than 30 days, which makes sense because it's an exploration game. You're trying to find treasure and bring it back, so without your ship being damaged or anything like that, it makes sense that you wouldn't have that strict 30 days. There's also some changes to the formula from Pikmin 2, like things like a majority of the treasures that you're trying to find are underground, and these underground caves tend to work more almost like a dungeon, if you will, where time doesn't pass, yet you also can't make more Pikmin. So you're stuck in this situation where you have to be sure if you're ready to dive in, and you have to be careful once you do. Not to say that there isn't bigger exploration, because there is to an extent, but it's not emphasized as much as it was in the first one, as this one, like I said, seems to be more aimed at like your hardcore gamers and the ones who really like a lot of puzzles and challenging dungeons. So overall, Adam really enjoyed this game, in fact giving it higher scores than he did Pikmin 1, as graphics and sound got a 4.5 out of 5, the gameplay got a 4 out of 5, and value got a 4.5 out of 5, as Pikmin 2 earned some very impressive marks from Adam Miller. So on to Pikmin 3, which is the one that I ended up playing. Now I have to say that I'd never played a single Pikmin game before, so I wasn't really sure what I was getting into. Now, if you would have told me, hey, it's like that one game where you were an evil overlord and you had a bunch of minions that you controlled, I think I might have been more into it. I got the idea that it was more like Lemmings, but it's not. This game is definitely a little bit more chaotic and barbaric than I thought it would be. For instance, one of the ways that you create more Pikmin is by taking the corpses of your enemies and regurgitating them, so to speak, into new Pikmin, which is interesting. I mean, it's life. It really is. And I think that's what the whole idea of this game is based upon, is looking at life through a microscopic lens. So I consider Pikmin 3 to be kind of a Goldilocks game, as the first might be too easy and the second one might be too hard. I think this game is just right. Not played the first two, but going by Adam's word. But it's not just in difficulty where this game is kind of the best of both worlds. It's also the story and your motivations in itself, as it kind of combines the two. You see, you don't follow Captain Olimar in this one. In fact, no, you follow 3 new characters, Ollie, Brittany, and the Captain. Now, all 3 members are from Captain Olimar's home planet of Hakotate, but it's not treasure that you're mining or even missing ship pieces that you're looking for. In fact, no, you're looking for sustainable food because your planet is unfortunately starving and they've run out of resources. So they've sent this exploration team to go try to find some resources and bring them back. Your main goal is to find fruit, about 30 pieces of fruit if you will, and essentially collect the seeds, also while juicing the fruit and having a nice treat to cap off each day. Now, this game does get more complex as you do end up crash landing on this foreign planet with all 3 of the members splitting up. Now, they quickly make friends with Pikmin and are on their way to find each other and to eventually look for fruit. And, what you know, also to look for a missing ship piece, as now they can't get home and they're looking for their cosmic key that will help them get into hyperdrive so that they can return back to their planet. But, of course, as we said before, they're also looking for fruit, and you need to find about 30 pieces of this, all within 30 days. So they bring back that counter again as well. Now, this game does typically involve a lot of puzzles that are relatively easy to figure out. There was only like one that I needed a little help on, but it was really easy. And if I'm being honest, a majority of this game went by before I even knew it. You see, like, it was one of those games that I was starting to question how long it was, and then I beat it. It was like literally that same level. I was wondering, I wonder how many missions I have left. And before I knew it, the game was over. Now, this game, I have to say, I absolutely loved the puzzles, found it incredibly endearing, and as I said before, just graphically impressive, as well as the ability to utilize your Pikmin in which way works best. Like the yellow ones can help create a current to bring light to certain areas, especially in underground caves. Blue Pikmin can go underwater, which is incredibly important. Pink Pikmin can fly. That also adds a new level. There's just so many little components to make up these really engaging and interesting puzzles, and I have to commend them on the fact that, yeah, they might be kind of easy, but it's better than them being too difficult. You know, it's better than them being frustrating. And I really like that because it gave you achievable goals, and that, for me, was a lot of fun. I didn't really worry or stress out while I'm playing this game. It was really kind of nice to have a combination of, yes, I gotta get this task done in a certain amount of time, but it's achievable, and I can do it. I don't have to worry about it. And honestly, that helped me really appreciate the game for what it was, appreciate the boss fights and things of that nature, as well as the story, which is mainly pushed through by diary entries with a few cutscenes. But none of that was taken away from the fact that you are on this time limit. Now, I don't know if many of you are the same as me, but I hate time limits, especially in games. And I will say, that is one thing that ruined the very end for me, as there is a very linear time-based battle. It's very annoying. But aside from that, I really did enjoy this game. I will say that I'm looking forward to Pikmin 4 because it's that night-day cycle that really kind of irritates me. I found myself really wanting to explore more and find more areas, solve more puzzles, bring back more fruit. But I was constantly under this clock of, okay, it's almost dark, so you better pack everything up, get everyone home. Just like in many of the other games, you want to make sure that your Pikmin are in their onion, or their little ship by the time that the sun starts to set, and if you don't, you lose those Pikmin. So you're constantly like watching that aspect of it, and you're, having to negotiate how far you can make it out, how much you can explore before you're gonna have to pack it in and go back home. But aside from that, I really, really enjoyed this game. Graphics and sound, I would easily give a 9 out of 10. It's just a beautiful game. It plays beautifully. It looks beautiful. All of those things are why this game is what it is. But, and I will say too, gameplay, definitely an 8 out of 10. Value overall. Now, it being $60, and I beat this game in under 10 hours. I have to say, value-wise, I have to give it like a 6 out of 10. I just feel like there could have been more to it, and there are some side missions, but even those aren't very long. And again, I think why value takes a hit for me is because it's just a little too short for the average person. Now, for me, this was fine. I actually enjoyed the fact that it was only about 10 hours, as I've been playing a lot of games that are, 50 to 100 hours long. So it was refreshing to have a nice little story. But I also rented this game from a library. I didn't buy it. So that $60 price tag didn't really seem to hurt me. So I have to focus in on that a little bit. But anyway, I think that if you like Pikmin, Pikmin 3 is going to be a great pickup. And honestly, I'm excited for Pikmin 4 because I can tell that through each entry, they fix different issues or they make it more palatable. So Pikmin 4, which now does not have that like night-day cycle, or at least you can survive in, the later evening or night. And then you also have their new friend. There's so many aspects of this game that just look really awesome. I am super excited for it. I'm super excited to see the new Pikmin, to understand the new characters, the whole story. I'm very, very hyped for this one. And I never thought I would say that. Honestly, until I jumped into this, I wasn't really even interested in Pikmin 4. And now, after just playing Pikmin 3, I'm really digging the series. Anyway, that's me and Adam's work here on Pikmin 1, 2, and 3. We really appreciate you. Let us know, are you excited about the Pikmin 4 games? Are you going to pick up any of these Pikmin games? Are you a big Pikmin fan? Do you think that I did a disservice by reviewing the games the way I did in such a fast manner? Hopefully not. I don't want to upset anyone. Anyway, I love y'all. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.